Wow, it's been some time since I last posted a YouTube video. I think the last one I did was in December in a training camp in Spain. I'm in Spain again now. This time we're doing the Tour de France, so it's the big one. Yeah, the last video I did 3 tips to improve your videography, but like always on YouTube, some do well, some don't. So I guess you could say I kind of took my foot off the gas and stopped putting out YouTube videos. I just focused on the work. I think it's fair to say I can't make any promises of bringing YouTube videos out every other week or so, because in this line of work, it's just super hard to stay consistent. Nevertheless, I've had a huge break from creating my own stuff. So I'm gonna try and bring some more useful, shorter videos to you now. So I'll get straight to it. The reason I've made this video is because I've recently switched from Premiere Pro to Davinci Resolve. You've probably seen loads of these videos everywhere, but I'm just giving you my version. So I've been using Premiere Pro for the last 4 years. So up until now, I didn't really have a bad thing to say about Adobe Premiere Pro. In fact, I use all the Adobe programs, Lightroom, Photoshop, After Effects. Sometimes I use Illustrator, Audition, and they're all really great programs. Although they are really good, they also have a lot of problems with them as well. To kick things off, I'll talk about the things that I do like about Premiere Pro. First of all, I'll say this. Premiere Pro taught me everything that I know now, due to the fact that things are pretty easy to find. There's a lot of videos and websites out there that can help you find what you're looking for. It's not really that hard if you really want to know the answer to something. When I started out as a photographer, I used Adobe Lightroom and Adobe Photoshop, so using another Adobe product seemed like it made sense. Particularly, I really like the Essential Graphics tab and the Adobe fonts, because when you're making videos for clients that want text and they want captions and they want logos, if you're not graphic design savvy, let's say, then there's always something that you can find in the Essential Graphics tab. Sometimes you have to pay for them, sometimes they're offered free by Premiere Pro, but generally they work pretty simple. They've got what you're looking for and you can adjust them and change them and drag them into your timeline, and away you go. And also the fact that I've used Premiere Pro for 4 years, if I look at any other editing suite, I'm always a little bit confused. So it's difficult letting go of something that you know so well. But that leads me on to the reasons why I switched from Premiere Pro, and I'll tell you them now. So one of the main reasons, and probably the most common reasons that people move from Premiere Pro, is the consistent crashing. No matter what you do to prepare your computer to run Premiere Pro, there always seems to be problems. Now I've had pretty powerful Windows laptops, I've had custom built PCs, and I've even had some of the latest MacBooks, and I always run into the same crashing errors. The other thing that got me down was the dynamic link between Premiere Pro and After Effects was 50-50 whether it worked. I looked into all sorts of number of reasons why it wouldn't work, and I could never really find a straight answer. So what that meant was, if ever I wanted to edit something in After Effects and bring that composition into Premiere Pro, I had to go the long way round. That's fine, because for a lot of people, that's what they do anyway. But again, if you're trying to edit something quickly and be efficient, you want to use a dynamic link to link a certain clip into After Effects. Make your changes there, have that dynamic link, bring that composition into Premiere Pro without you having to render anything out of After Effects. That was super useful when it worked, but when it doesn't work, it kind of defeats the object. So, why the move to Davinci? Well, the main reason I moved to Davinci was out of pure desperation. I was away with work, trying to create videos, and no matter what I did, Premiere Pro was just not working. It was constantly crashing and booting me out the app. I was having to restart the Mac every 5 minutes just to get a 20-second reel done for a social media post. I turned to Davinci Resolve. I already had it installed on the MacBook because most people know this. There's a free version, and the free version is awesome. But I moved to Davinci Resolve just to see if it behaved any better on my MacBook. And touch wood, up until this moment, it's worked really smoothly. The main reasons I love Davinci Resolve is the fact that it runs super smooth. There's no need to pre-render any footage for smooth playback. I'm putting some heavy 4K Sony files into the timeline, and I still don't have to use proxies. The editing suite itself takes a little bit of getting used to, but that's like anything. But when you get used to it, you find that the editing workflow is super smooth, it's nicely laid out, and you can find everything you need all along the bottom row. I probably don't need to tell too many people about the color grading option, but the color grading in Davinci Resolve is insane. It's miles ahead of Premiere Pro. Now, I'm not a professional color grader, but I can tell you that the footage I get from Davinci Resolve color-wise compared to Premiere Pro is already miles ahead, and I haven't actually changed that much. You just need to get used to the node system and not the traditional adjustment layer system that you would be used to on Premiere Pro. But when you get used to that, it's actually quite simple. And ultimately, if you were on a budget or you found you were already spending too much on the Adobe products, Davinci Resolve is free. So you can get it for free right now and pretty much do everything you need. If you buy a Blackmagic camera, you get the license key in the box and then it's free for life. The main takeaway to moving to Davinci from Premiere Pro is simple. It doesn't crash. It has moments where it has to think about what it's doing, but that's just due to storage on the laptop. So if you can manage your files better, you'll find that Davinci Resolve runs super smooth on most systems. I can answer any questions in the comments you've got about Davinci or switching from Premiere Pro, but again, I'm not an expert, I'm still learning. So the more I learn, the more I can share with you. So hopefully in the near future, I'll be bringing more videos out on how to use Davinci and how to use the workflow. In the meantime, the usual, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do what you want, and I promise I'll bring more videos. Thanks for watching.